Ever since the fabulous Freebirds first used the anthemic Leonard Skinner song to bring themselves to the ring, it's hard now to think of the modern day wrestling product without thinking about entrance music. The song they'll bring a guy or gal down to the ring, song that hits trumpeting that they're going to interfere or come down to the ring. So I thought it's my time to tell you about my top 10 favorite wrestling entrance themes. And I've stuck with themes that were specifically written for wrestling. Maybe not that particular guy or girl, but for a wrestling program specifically. So sorry, guys, but no, also Sprat Zarathustra, the song that brought Ric Flair into the ring all these years, or even that re recording of Flight of the Valkyries, Daniel Bryan's theme. So, without further ado, let's get started.
Number 10, Worlds Apart, written and performed by CFOs.
I'll just get this out of the way first by saying about every one of these songs, in my humble opinion, perfectly fits the guy or girl that it brings to the ring. And this case is no exception. Worlds Apart perfectly fits Sammy, his ring motions, how he skanks down to the ring, and just his entire entrance to the ring fits that song. That song fits him to a T. And also, it's also kind of a standalone in that a lot of the knock on CFO's entrance themes is it's got one hook, or else it sounds like everything emo, hard guitar, all what you'll hear on the radio nowadays. And I think Worlds Apart is totally different. It's got two really distinct riffs that are really catchy, and also it's doesn't really have that hard driving guitar sound. It sounds more like a classic ska song, like you'd hear from the Specials, not so much a ska core song like you'd hear from, say, the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. So I just think it perfectly works with Sammy coming to the ring, and it fits his character to a T.
Number 9, I Won't Do What You Tell Me, written and performed by Jim Johnston.
When you hear the breaking glass, you know it's your ass. Stone Cold's theme is iconic. Even though they use several different variations of this basic theme throughout his career, I really enjoyed the Disturbed remake of it they used during the Alliance years. Um, this is just one of those classic Jim Johnston riffs, perfect song, perfectly fits Stone Cold and everything. And even today, if that glass breaks and those chords hit, the crowd will lose their minds, as they always have.
Number 8, Honky Tonk Man, performed by the Honky Tonk Man, written by Jimmy Hart.
Sure, it's cheesy and corny and a little dated, but it fit the Honky Tonk Man perfectly. Not just the song itself, which is genius, written by Jimmy Hart, but the fact that a Elvis impersonator gimmick, of course that guy's going to sing his own theme song, as several other guys have in the past, but that is just, definitely that guy had to sing his own theme song. Just was given. And I find myself every once in a while just thinking about the time I got to meet the Honky Tonk Man here in Indy, and immediately that song will get stuck in my head for a good part of a day, and I'll just be singing along whenever no one's looking, you know. So it's one of my favorite theme songs of all time.
Number 7, Real American, written and performed by Rick Derringer.
An iconic song for an iconic character. It's hard to believe that Real American wasn't written specifically for Hulk Hogan. The song has been linked with him for so long, it just seems like it was written for the man, but it wasn't. It was originally given to the U.S. Express, the tag team of Barry Windham and Mike Rotunda. When they left the WWE, Hulk Hogan was given the song, and he truly took it over. It is his song. Whenever you hear that theme music, you know the Hulkster is coming to the ring. Hulkamania is going to run wild. The crowd is going to go insane.
Number 6, Long Necks and Rednecks, written and performed by Serge Salinas and Dale Oliver.
Not only does this song perfectly fit James Storm's Tennessee Cowboy character, it sounds like it could be on country radio, not just back when it was first released, but today. It has not sounded dated at all. The one question I always had, though, was Dixie Carter, you pony up the money to get Montgomery Gentry and Cowboy Troy to be in the music video for this song, but you don't pony up the extra to maybe actually have them perform the song, which I think would have just set the crowd on fire. And it, like I said, it's a good song. It sounds like it'd be on country radio today and would chart very highly, and it perfectly fits the bearded outlaw.
Number 5, Voices, performed by Rev Theory, written by Jim Johnston.
Randy Orton's had many themes during his WWE run, and I'm glad they finally found one that perfectly fits his character as well as his ring style and just perfectly fits him. Um, there have been many misfires, a couple of really good songs that have went with him. I think Voices is going to be his theme song until the end of his career, and whenever he comes back, inevitably, as all these guys do after they retire from in ring, when he comes back to do anything, this will be the song that sticks with him and will be the Randy Orton theme song that we'll hear from now on.
Number 4, This Fire Burns, written and performed by Killswitch Engage.
Originally showing up on the Reckless Intent CD, This Fire Burns was originally used for Judgment Day 2006 as the theme song of that show. They gave it to Randy Orton for, I think, one show after that. He didn't like the song, so they shelved it until they used it as CM Punk's entrance theme for his entire ECW run and that first part of his WWE stint until he switched over and started using Cult of Personality, which he used on the indie scene also. So um, I love Killswitch Engage. I love Howard on vocals during this song. It just incredibly good hard rock song. Got you pumped. Fit CM Punk's personality just brilliantly, I thought. Um, so yeah, in my humble opinion, it fits CM Punk better than Cult of Personality simply because Cult of Personality being a top 40 song, there's other memories that you would link to that song. Whereas This Fire Burns, it's a wrestling theme, and whenever you hear that, um, you I personally immediately think of CM Punk coming down to the ring. It's clobbering time, and yeah, so I think it was a much better theme song for him. It's one of my favorite songs, not just in wrestling, but in music in general, and one of my favorite Killswitch Engage songs.
Number 3, Wreck, written and performed by Jim Johnston.
Another Jim Johnston classic that starts out with a sound effect that immediately lets the crowd know who's coming out to the ring and what they're there to do. The car crash sound that begins this track, definitely a lot of people always compare Mick Foley matches to human car crashes, so it perfectly fit. Um, Not too many frills and bells and whistles, just that nice 3-chord guitar riff bringing Mick to the ring. And I personally, I love it. Amongst all the songs that Mick has ever come out to, I think this is definitely my favorite and fits him the best.
Number 2, Break It Down, performed by the Chris Warren Band, written by Jim Johnston.
Whether it was that original incarnation with Sean and Hunter and China and Rick Rude, or the second version with X Pac and the New Age Outlaws, hearing Break It Down immediately knew you were going to be entertained beyond belief. That classic, guitar riff that brings it up. Chris Warren, the incredible vocals on that track he gave. We lost him just a short time ago. It's really, I was kind of sad to hear they passed. I immediately went and played that track and played a couple of the times they played them in live at shows, um, just in honor. And I think it's just maybe because I'm such a mark for Sean and Hunter and DX in general, but it is one of my favorite wrestling entrance themes of all time. Now, before we get to our number one pick, I'd like to hit you up with some honorable mentions.
Serving Hard Time, performed by J.J. McGuire, written by Jimmy Hart. Bad Street USA, written and performed by Michael P.S. Hayes. Reach for the Sky, written and performed by Adam Massacre. Three-way tie for number one, The Game, Line in the Sand, and King of Kings, all performed by Motorhead, all written by Jim Johnston and Lemmy Kilmister.
I know, I know, I know. A three-way tie for my number one, but whenever I first started making this list, I knew that the three Motorhead songs for Triple H were definitely going to be on here. And the more I fleshed out the list, I realized that they would definitely be at the top of my list. So instead of taking three separate spots for each song, I decided I'd make it a three-way tie for the number one. If you had to pin me down, my favorite song, just musically, is Line in the Sand, the song they did for Evolution. That is by far my favorite song. If you'd say, what is your favorite entrance theme, i.e., what fits the character best, what do you think is the best song that goes along with that, I'd have to say The Game. They played Hunter in live at WrestleMania 17 and 21, and it just fits him perfectly when he's coming down to the ring in just that, you know, the Game cerebral assassin character. Uh, I also really love King of Kings. I think that perfectly fits the authority character. And also, I liked it whenever they first brought it in. It used to be the song that would play him out. He'd come into the game, and if he won, he would get played out by King of Kings, which seems to be a very fitting song for a conquering hero or a power hungry megalomaniac like Triple H in The Authority is. So there you have it, my top 10 favorite entrance themes of all time. Tell me what your favorites are in the comments section below. Don't forget to give this video the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. And while we're talking about subscribing to channels, I'm going to send you over to one of my favorite YouTubers, man by the name of Mustafa Music King Daniels. He does a lot of piano work. He's an incredible musician. He does a lot of wrestling covers. So since we're talking about wrestling entrance themes, go check out some of the ones he's done over on his channel. If you like the show, go over to our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Family One Kickout. Like the page over there. You can follow me on Twitter at Festus74. And tune in next time when I'll be giving you my previews and predictions for the upcoming NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2. Until then, remember, when life has you pinned, always kick out.